What's up everybody, I'm Derek, this is Rocky E Forge, and today I'm going to be forging a pair of Farrier's tongs. So, let's get rocking. Alright, so for this video I'm going to be starting with two 8-inch long pieces of 3/4 inch round stock, and I'm going to do this a little backwards from my usual tong making videos. Most of the time I start with the jaws and then draw out the reins afterwards. This time I'm going to start by drawing out the reins to create kind of some tong templates or lollipops. I'm going to start this process by using half-face blows at the far edge of the anvil to forge a blunt taper on the ends of each of the pieces of round stock, leaving about 4 inches of material unforged. So I'm taking about half of each piece to forge out reins for this project. And I'm going to draw this down to about just over 3/8 of an inch square in order to have pretty consistent 3/8 inch round reins all the way down the length of these tongs. Oh yeah, this is gonna suck. I gotta do this twice. And I'm demonstrating two different ways of drawing out material here. One is using the rounding hammer and the horn of the anvil to sort of act like fullers in order to draw material lengthwise out fairly quickly. And the other is by laying the material over the edge of the anvil using half-face blows and forging on all 4 sides in order to create a shoulder, and then roughly 2 hits later forge that shoulder back into the material. This very quickly turns all of these kind of bite-sized hammer blows into drawing out the material very quickly. We're getting there. I've been drawing these out for about 40 straight minutes. I'm kind of gassed. Alrighty, so I've got these drawn out roughly equivalent to about 1 foot long. Next step I'm going to take is to take all these to octagon, and then I'll be working on forging these round. And just as a time check, I've been forging pretty much continuously on this to forge both 4-inch lengths out to 1 foot for the last hour and 10 minutes. All right, so I've got my lollipops drawn out. I've just kind of rough rounded the reins. This will be okay for the time being, and then I'll refine everything as we finish up. And if you've got a way to do this, either with a power hammer or a hydraulic press as opposed to just by arm strength, please do, because this took me about 1.5 hours to draw these out to this point, and I'm pretty gassed. Now, the reason I drew the reins out first is it will give me a nice handle to hold on to while I work on the jaws. In order to get a rounded jaw, what I'm going to do is bring this to the near edge of the anvil, lay the piece on the near edge of the anvil, and then drop my hand to forge at an angle and fuller using the edge of the anvil into the material to a depth of about 5/16 of an inch. And once I've got this kind of angled fuller mark in the piece, I'm going to turn it over and use angled blows with my hammer to sort of upset the corner back into the material, which results in this kind of isolation of material that has a forward taper and a reverse taper in it, keeping that apex near the middle of the jaw. Now, once I have finished that step, I'm going to turn the bar on the side, forging in the corners of the jaws to create a kind of 3-sided taper at the end, lining up the edge of the beginning of the taper with the apex of that kind of forward and reverse tapered portion of the jaw. Now next, I'm going to go lock these in the vise and round these, just these corners off just with a file while it's still hot. And then before I get too far into forging the jaws out themselves, I'm going to transition to forging in the boss. Ooh, that's a sound. All right, so for this, I'm going to bring this to the far edge of the anvil. I'm going to lay this over where the kind of the apex of that fuller mark lines up with the far edge of the anvil. And then I'm going to angle my hand outward such that the edge of the anvil almost lines up with the kind of angle of that fuller mark itself, and use half-face blows or half-on, half-off blows at the far edge, being very deliberate and careful on these first few strikes in order to set that shoulder. You want to make sure that the shoulder is set before you really just start wailing on it, and then hammer this down such that the whole piece flattens out to about the width of the reins that I forged out. And it's worth noting here that this process is going to fish lip this area in here. I'm going to take a file to that just to eliminate any risk of having a cold shut develop and growing a crack in there. I'm actually going to hold the jaws themselves with a different pair of tongs, laying the boss on the anvil such that the jaw itself is up off the edge of the anvil. And I'm laying the rest of the material off the edge of the anvil, so the whole transition to the reins off the edge of the anvil. I'm using blows that are fully off the edge of the anvil, and the reason for that is I'm trying to not forge down the boss itself, but I'm trying to create a shoulder and a transition between the boss and the reins where I've got this decorative flare at the transition point, and then I will refine that by turning it around and using the cross peen and the horn to kind of refine that curve into the flare from that transition, and ultimately I will just forge the rest of that down into a taper down to the reins. All right, so I've got these roughly forged in. I think they're looking pretty okay. I'm going to take these to the belt grinder with a 60 grit belt and just touch up all of these edges, get rid of the extra kind of forged in lumps and bumps, and then we'll get to forging in the jaws after that. All right, so for the jaws, I'm going to take this, bring this to the near edge of the anvil, lay this over, and just start flattening. Ow. And this is just going to naturally round out. And you can get more spread with a ball, the ball end of your rounding hammer, but this should be plenty. Just taking the time to refine that curve there with my hammer, but really you want this surface to be basically in line with center so that when you fit everything together it sits at the center line. And it's important to get this face right here of the jaw as flat as possible, because in the next step I'm going to punch down with a really big ball end punch down into the center to create a cavity in the inside of each jaw, so that there is basically 2 points of contact on a piece of steel around the outside edge of the jaw at any given point. In order to avoid a pivoting motion, especially with a pair of Farrier's tongs, you really want those tongs to hang on to the flat stock, because you're going to go to the woof. I'm demonstrating quite well why I want a pair of Farrier's tongs, but you have to hold them very, very nice and tight while you forge in a bend, and you don't want to have that happen like with this pair. And this is kind of a fun way to do things. I'm going to literally just hold this between my legs so that the rest of the material is off the anvil. Watch the end of your punch when you're punching. And great thing about a ball end punch, if you end up off-centered, you can just angle the punch in the direction that you want to go and hammer at that angle to move that hole in the direction you want. I'm going to deepen that one more heat, and then we'll move on to kind of the final stages here of the forging process. All right, so next thing I'm going to do is lay this off the far edge of the anvil right at this little corner. I'm going to put a little bit of an angle on it, and then I'm going to use the cross peen of my cross peen hammer to hammer kind of toward myself. And that's going to push the boss that direction and resultingly push the reins towards center line so that everything, instead of not lining up like most pairs of tongs that I have forged, they will actually be closer to center line, and the reins will actually line up in line with each other. All right, so pro tip, I did that last step before I punched the hole. You should definitely punch the hole first. I guess I'll drill the hole on the other boss to avoid that. But you need a flat surface to punch against, so I'm going to punch this hole before I actually do that previous step. And first thing I'm going to do is come in with my ball end punch. This is a much smaller ball end punch. Then I'll move in with the flat-tipped round punch to finish punching that hole. All right, so I have compressed that plug, and I've got that shiny spot. I'm going to take this, set it right over that shiny spot. We'll take a hit or two. There we go. And there is a nicely punched hole. And now I'm going to take a 3/8 inch drill bit, run it in and out of that. All right, so now I'm going to actually step this over like I did with the other one. I know I'm going to have to do some file work on these transition points because these edges meet up. It is a good reminder that I need to cut off the excess, so I'm going to go do that, toss this whole thing in the forge, heat up the tip, and then just rivet everything together. I almost forgot I need to touch mark before I actually rivet everything together. Good. Now I'm going to head this over with the ball peen. So now I get to do a bunch of adjustments on everything. And I'm making sure to forge basically right at the transition between the jaws and the boss. In the grand scheme of things, I'm pretty happy with that. Pretty solid. They ain't perfect. All right, last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to quench these, go to the grinder, round these jaws up so that they look a little more even, and then I'm going to toss these back in the forge just to heat up enough to get hot, spray them down with some WD-40, and as a kind of final finish, so to speak, and then we'll be all done. And that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, please drop a like, leave a comment, hit subscribe, ring that notification bell. If you want to support me in the channel further, please consider becoming an honorary striker on my Patreon. That link is in the description below the video, or please consider becoming a member on my YouTube channel. And as always, keep on rocking. Oh, and let's go Seahawks!